Hello, welcome to Recovery Demystified, a show where we explore our relationship to substances from a radical, non-religious, and empowering lens. Our sobriety is not a purity contract. It is an invitation to become curious about ourselves and find our own unique paths to growth and healing. If you've been questioning the role of alcohol or drugs in your life and haven't found the resources that you need, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, welcome back to Recovery Demystified. I'm so happy to have y'all here today. Today I'm doing a replay episode because I'm actually on my vacation in Peru right now. So I'm trying to set these up so they automatically post on the days that they're supposed to. And it's my first time trying that, so I hope it works. So today I'm replaying one of my favorite interviews. It's with my friend Sara Hyatt. And it was, I think, my second interview I ever did. So it's interesting re-listening to it and seeing me try to figure out the vibe of interviewing. And yeah, she's one of my besties and I love her story so much. And there's something really important that we talk about in there that is like an ongoing frustration for me, which is bipolar misdiagnosis. And this happened to me when I went inpatient for the first time for medical detox from alcohol. And I went in with a psychiatrist and the psychiatrist was like, "Do you know what I'm going to tell you?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what you're going to tell me." And he goes, "You're bipolar." And I was like, "What?" And it just felt super wrong. And so I walk out of his office, but I trusted him, right? I mean, like, I'm sick, I'm desperate, I'm inpatient. I'm like, okay, he says I'm bipolar and I know I'm fucking crazy right now, right? So maybe, and I walk out of the room and there's a frequent flyer lady that's like, pretty much always in and out of the inpatient facilities. And she looks at me and she goes, he told you you're bipolar, didn't he?" And I was like, "He did. How did you know that?" And she was like, "He tells everyone that." And the thing about it is I got put on like a grip of medication, like 5 different psych meds at a time, antipsychotics, like all sorts of things that have like really bad side effects, like Haldol and Seroquel and just super hardcore psych meds. And as it turns out, when I got into long-term recovery, I no longer had any symptoms of bipolar disorder. So I got undiagnosed, and the more I learned about it, I learned that in the DSM-5, which is the book that psychiatrists use to diagnose mental health disorders in people, when you read the diagnostic criteria for bipolar disorder, it literally says right in there, you cannot diagnose bipolar disorder if the person's behavior can be explained by the use of a substance. And everything that I experienced in my addiction that was a symptom of bipolar disorder was directly caused by a use of a substance, and I was in the facility for medical detox. So I've heard this story so many times, and it's extremely frustrating. And there's nothing wrong with being bipolar or having mental health issues. Like, you're still a complete, lovable, wonderful human being if you have mental health issues. But it is straight up dangerous to be consistently diagnosing people with substance use disorders as having bipolar disorder, simply because it changes how we view ourselves, and the psychiatric medication can be very dangerous and just simply unnecessary, right? So anyway, that's just, give me my soapbox, that is something that we touch on in this episode, and it's just a really important PSA for me to be able to talk to people and be like, listen, if you're going inpatient and you're getting a diagnosis, question that shit. Like, if it feels right and if it helps explain something to you and you get on medication, it helps you feel better, like, that's one thing. But for me, it felt wrong and it was wrong. And for a lot of people that I know, a very similar thing happens. So I just want to let you know that although we'd like to be able to trust our doctors, not all of them are always really good at their jobs. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this replay episode, and I'll be back with a new episode in just a couple of weeks. So without further ado, here's my replay with Sara. All right. Hi, Sara. I'm so excited to have you here today. Will you start by introducing yourself? Let us know your pronouns and what makes you Sara.
Hi, Early. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Sara Hyatt, and my pronouns are she, her, and God, what makes me me? so many things, I guess. I don't know. I've never thought about what makes me me. But I guess it's just because I'm here. I'm me, and I just am who I am. And we love me for it.
Yes, we do. We love you, Sara. All right. So will you let us know a bit about your journey through your life with addiction and recovery? Maybe start in your childhood. What was it like being a kid? What was it like growing up? When did you first start getting interested in substances? When did it become a problem? And then how was your healing path?
Yes, I would absolutely love to tell you all of that. So, yeah, growing up as a kid, I grew up in like Fort Smith, Arkansas, and like I remember from a very young age, like I always like now I look back and I'm like, wow, I really was kind of like raised in a party scene. Like my parents, like we're always like going to like my dad's parents' farm and like out in the country with like all of their friends, and there was just always like beer and, you know, just it was always a huge party, cigarettes and food, and we just lived that way. And, you know, my dad was like I think he was, from what I remember, he was the president of like the Riverfront Blues Society in Fort Smith. And so we were always going to like these big music festivals down in our town, and it was a party, and our whole life was a fucking party. And we went to, you know, Lake Washita. It was a party. We were on the boat. There was just, like I said, our whole life was a party. So, I mean, I remember like I was probably 7, 8, 9, around that age. I can remember me and my childhood friend like picking up cigarette butts off the side of the road, stealing cigarettes from our parents. Like it was pretty early on, like that we were interested in cigarettes for one.
And it was just because you saw your parents smoking and you were curious, what's this all about? Or do you know where the curiosity came from?
I've thought about that, you know, and like in my mind, it's like, oh, did I start picking cigarette butts off the side of the road because my dad smoked cigarettes, or was I just born this way? And I was born with the urge to smoke. I don't know, you know, and we would get dropped off at the mall and we would pick cigarette butts off the front ashtrays and stuff. And pretty soon thereafter, like I became intertwined with, this was probably closer to like 12 and 13. I became intertwined with like an older group of guys. They were like originally friends with my sister, but I was also like anyone that was friends with my sister, I was also going to be like with them. Like I just followed my sister wherever she went, you know.
You really look up to her?
I do. I've always like just been Kat's little sister, you know, and I was just with her. Like she allowed me to follow her around our whole life. Yeah. And I do look up to my sister so much. She's definitely like an icon in my life.
Now, when y'all were kids and there was all that partying going on, did it feel safe? Did it feel scary? Like, how did it feel being a kid around a party scene?
It did not feel scary at all. No, it felt like home, you know, because that's all that we knew. And it wasn't like, you know, we were like smoking meth as a family, but we were raised in like a music scene and a scene where there was like large farm parties, and it felt like home. It didn't feel scary at all. And it was, of course, all that we knew, but it was just our life, and it just felt normal. And there wasn't hard drugs or anything like that. Like I said, it was just cigarettes and booze and stuff and weed. But, yeah, so it didn't feel scary at all. So as I was saying, like, I got intertwined with this group of guys, and I remember, like, you know, they would buy us cigarettes, buy us alcohol, and we became very, very close. Like, they were our best friends. Like, I grew up with these people my entire life. And, it soon morphed into all of us experimenting with drugs pretty heavily. So,
And what age is this, did you say?
I would say like this all began around like 12 or probably 13, 12 to 13, I would say, you know.
And how old was your sister?
It was like 14 at the time.
Y'all are pretty close in age.
We're like 19 months apart. So as my memory serves me, like we were doing like lots of smoking cigarettes, lots of drinking booze, lots of weed, and then it started to morph into like hard drugs, and like any drug under the sun, all the drugs all the time, like and I guess kind of the most famous like story of my time, at this point, too, I had a really close group of girlfriends. We were very, very, very close. We did everything together. And we had a really close guy friend who lived right across the street. And one day we walked over across the street, and he said, "Do you guys want to try this?" And we said, "Of course we do." And it was a light bulb with meth in it.
A light bulb.
We said, "Sign me up." So we started smoking meth, and it was just so normal for us to just walk across the street and start hitting a fucking light bulb. Didn't even blink an eye.
At that point in your life, had you ever seen anyone that was like strung out on meth? Did you know about negative repercussions, or were you this was your first exposure to it?
It was my first exposure. To be quite honest, I probably didn't even know what it was.
Yeah. I
just had a very like strong zest to consume smoke, drink, and drugs. And so this is, we're inching towards 14, 15, 16 at this point. Like, so yeah, we start hitting the glass pipe light bulb thing. And that was a really interesting time in my life. I think I ended up smoking meth for like a year and a half, roughly. And I have like memories of like me and my girlfriends like getting intertwined with one of like some dealer. One of my friends was like dating him. It's all very blurry, if you can imagine. And we would hang out at this guy's house, like the dealer's house, and like sit and tweak out and like color in coloring books and just be fucking weird. And that went on for a while, like a year and a half, like I said. And at the time, too, I mean, we were consuming every other drug under the sun, too. Like, it wasn't just meth. Like, if there was ecstasy around, we're doing it. If there's mushrooms, we're doing it. Acid, we're doing it. If there's, like, we did a lot of Xanax. Tons of Xanax.
Do you know... Do you know why did it feel like normal teenage experimentation? Did it feel like escape? Do you know why you were experimenting so hard at that age?
I don't. I've thought about it, and at times in my life when people have asked me that question, I would answer it by saying, "Oh, well, I think I just fell into that group," right? Like I said, I met the older guys, and they started influencing me, and they weren't, I mean, I was like open arms, ready. Like, it wasn't like they were shoving it down my throat or anything. I don't know how it happened. If I just fell into it, or it feels like I was just kind of born that way, like ready to. And then also like Fort Smith there's a lot of readily available substances down there. So it was just kind of the scene, that I fell into, I think, and the area that I lived. And I don't really know, because like one time I went to therapy, and my therapist was like, "Well, what was your childhood like?" And like when I think about my childhood, I just think so many wonderful things about it. I feel like I had the best life. And I don't think that I was necessarily trying to escape anything, and maybe that's something that I need to look further at, because like later down the road, I think I was 18, my dad ended up committing suicide. So I'm like, okay, obviously things weren't great. What was really going on? I have a lot of therapy I still probably need to do around all of this. But to me, my life was great. And I just really enjoyed experimenting with drugs and alcohol,
Yeah, that can be absolutely a normal part of growing up. Like, it doesn't always have to be about tragedy. Like, maybe you get further into therapy and you get down to some middle layer of the onion and you're like, oh shit, no kidding. That would probably, that makes it all add up. It makes it all make sense. But like, it's also a completely valid story that you just like were experimenting with drugs and partying and that it was fun at the time. Like,
yes.
If that's also completely valid,
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, because like, yeah, maybe sometimes there doesn't have to be a reason why it just happened,
Yeah, culturally, like, people get fucked up. Like, it doesn't always have to be because you're burying something tragic.
Right, I agree. I've always said that, like, we live on planet Earth, and within that planet, this planet, exists substances that can fuck us up. And my God, I think most of us end up trying it at some point.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because it exists here,
So from all of that partying, the year and a half of meth use and everything, did you start to experience any negative repercussions at any point? When did you decide did something awful happen? Did you ever rock bottom? Anything like that?
Yeah, so definitely things started happening. At this point, we're obviously pretty deep into like usage and stuff. And I remember my sister said something to me one day, like, you look really, really, really bad. And I also remember I was like super in love with my high school boyfriend. And I remember I was trying to like hang out with him, and I was like so tired from like doing meth and then staying up all the time and then obviously not sleeping. And I was trying to hang out with Boo, and I was just like falling asleep in his car, like falling asleep. And it just kind of hit me. I was like, this is not good. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I miraculously just quit smoking meth. Like, I just stopped. But the drug usage didn't stop completely. So I did get off meth, but I was using cocaine pretty regularly, I'm sure. Like all throughout, like at this point, I'm like about to graduate high school. And very much still doing everything that I already said. Any drug that was available, except for meth, at this point, I would consume. So, yeah, I end up graduating high school. Nothing short of a miracle there. And I had planned to move to Fayetteville to go to college. And unfortunately started dating a really awful like drug dealer guy, and we would do like lines of coke like mixed with oxy. So I started doing Oxycontin once I moved up here. Luckily it didn't work out super well because it made me super sick. So that wasn't a super long-standing thing. But yeah, we would fucking mix it with coke. Like, that's so dangerous. And then I started dating another drug dealer guy and was with him for like 5 or 6 years, I think. And it was a really scary, like, toxic situation. And my family hated him.
Sorry. Were you seeking out drug dealers, or did it just happen that way?
Unfortunately for me, it just happened. Because there was drugs, right? I don't know how I became intertwined with all the dealers, but I did. Like, there was, Well,
I guess they're selling to you, and that's how you meet them, but...
Right, yeah. We just became all booed up, so... Lucky for me, free drugs. But, yeah, so at this point, I'm dating another person who's a drug dealer. It was like a long-standing relationship. I think I started dating him when I was 18. And it was over by like 22, so however long that is. But at this point, still using hard drugs and alcohol, toxic relationship, everything's bad.
What's bad?
Like, the relationship was really scary. My family hated him. I was very isolated, like, with him. He was pretty mean, and so it was a dark fucking time, and I was partying really hardcore. My dad had just died. Like, I was the type of drunk person and fucked up person that, well, there's a lot of things that happen, but I would always, like, go to bars and just, like, take my shirt off. And the other fun thing that would happen is I would always, like, piss the bed every single night.
It's unpleasant.
It was a bad time.
That's unpleasant.
It was all bad early.
So this is this when you would say it really, really started to turn around this time when you were dating this particular drug dealer? This is when, like, it went from in high school, the majority of it was fun, and now the majority of it is bad?
I would say so, yeah. Absolutely, yes. So, yes, and I finally left him. I woke up one morning, and things were really bad, like, between us already. Like, I was trying to get out of that relationship in my heart. I wanted to, but I kept staying and everything. But I woke up one morning, and he and several other people were just, like, smoking Oxycontins off of foil in the living room. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to get the fuck out of here. And he had, like, pushed me down the stairs some night before, some time within conjunction of this event. And I was just like, I have to fucking leave. So I ran away. Somehow I ran out. He didn't know that I left or something. Maybe he wasn't home. Went away. We had a studio space, like, right up the road from our house that I, like, taught yoga out of and stuff. And I started, like, hiding out in the studio. I wouldn't talk to my family. I wouldn't leave the studio. It was probably, like, a week that I was just, like, holed up in here, like, what the fuck? Because at this point, like, based upon everything that I've told you, this all started when I was 12 or 13. I'm 22. And I'm just coming down, man. What were you going to say?
Was this your first attempt at quitting?
Well, yes.
Other than the meth. Yeah.
Well, you'll see what's about to happen. I wasn't quitting yet. So I was still using, like, booze at this point. It was probably weed, booze. I don't know what all I had at the studio at this point. But I eventually got really scared and called a really good friend. And I was like, hey, I need you to come pick me up. He comes and picks me up, takes me to his friend's house, and, like, drops me off and is like, here you go. Here's Sara. Figure it out. And I had never met this person before, I don't think. But I guess my friend didn't really want to deal with me, so he, like, took me to another friend that he thought could help me. And I met this guy that I was now being put into his care. And we just, like, looked at each other and fell in love. And I remember, like, things got pretty bad. Like, I was still drinking a lot at this point. And there was one day he kicked me out of the house. We dated for, like, a year and a half. And he kicked me out. And I had, like, a full-blown freak out. Like, I went to one of the neighbors, and I was, like, losing my mind. Went to a restaurant down the road. Ordered a glass of wine. Was freaking out. I was fucked up. Like, so fucking fucked up that they called, this restaurant knew my sister. They called my sister. She was working at Arcegas Depot. She's at work. They call my sister, and they're like, hey, your sister's here. She's not doing well. You need to come get her. They call my mom. My sister calls my mom because she's at work. And my mom comes and picks me up from the restaurant. She takes me to her house, and I'm, like, not okay. And I said, I want to kill myself to my mom. And I was like, you need to call an ambulance right now. She did. And they took me in the ambulance, and they took me to Washington Regional. And when I woke up, I don't remember a lot, but I think from what I remember, they told me, they were like, you should have died from how much alcohol that you had in your system.
Oh my God.
And they took me to the psych ward. And I had to stay in the psych ward for an entire fucking week. And I was terrified. I was fucked up. I was coming off of drugs and alcohol, and it was so bad. I mean, I was like losing my mind, like screaming, and yeah, it was a really bad time. And they were like, well, you're bipolar. If you want to get out of here, like they were going to try to keep me for 2 weeks. And I was like, no, I'm not staying here any longer. So my mom came in. We had like a meeting with the doctor. I had to like sign a contract that I would like go to Ozark guidance for like a certain period of time, like years after I got out. And I got out of the motherfucking psych ward, and I never, ever, ever, 14 years it's been, never touched another drug or another drop of alcohol.
Oh my gosh, after exiting the psych ward.
I was done. Yeah. That was it early. And I did go to AA for a little bit. I didn't love it, actually. I mean, it was kind of supportive in a way. Like, I liked receiving the chips and stuff like that. It did help for a while. But I had gotten a sponsor, and then we were going to, like, start working the steps. Like, I didn't even work the steps because what happened was she was like, I went to her house, and we were supposed to start working the steps. But she told me, she was like, you know what? I don't think I'm actually ready to be someone's sponsor. I'm sorry. I thought I was ready, but I'm not. And so I just like never went back to AA after that, but I maintained my sobriety for 14 years.
How'd you do that? Was when you would get a craving in early sobriety, what would you do? How did you feel? Like, how did you overcome it? What skills did you have?
Good question. It was so long ago, like when I did this. I was 22 when I got sober. So I remember, like, I would always, if I was going to go somewhere, like to a party or something, I would always bring kombucha with me. I just always had like my own drinks. But it wasn't easy, and I would say that it's probably still not easy for me. Like, it feels like, and especially in the early days, I think it felt, and many times throughout the 14 years, it's felt very unfair. That, like, I'm the only one that can't enjoy a glass of red wine because I fucking love red wine. That shit is my favorite thing in the world. And I would love to be, like, I just would love to have a glass of wine with my friends or some Prosecco or whatever. But I had this very strong conviction that, like, it was just over for me. Like, all of that shit was over for me. I remember when I got out of the psych ward, like, I could still smell and taste the whiskey that I had drank. And I was so repulsed by that taste and that smell that I just was like done. I was just like, fuck it. Like, no, that's disgusting. I just had this like thing that I just was just like, you know, the question was like, how did I maintain the sobriety? What were the tools? But it was like, it was more of just like a conviction of like I would use the mantra, like, what was the mantra? I'm trying something new. That's what I would say. I'd be like, oh, I already did that. I already did that.
You have all the data.
I have everything that I need to know about all of that. I'm trying something new because my mom had gotten sober at some point. I think I was like 8 or something. And I just kind of felt this like moral responsibility to like carry that on. I don't know, like I just couldn't continue on being this like irresponsible person anymore, like that was just fucked up, taking my shirt off at the bar and pissing the bed every night, you know?
Yes.
So, I don't know if that answers the question, but it was just a conviction, and the kombucha helped.
No, it totally does. It sounds to me like you experienced something I've heard called as spontaneous sobriety, which basically is like a person who, instead of having this like large orchestrated concerted effort over time of like confronting their cravings and making all of these intentional changes, like oftentimes, and this is a story that goes untold, so I'm so glad I have you here today. Oftentimes people have a moment where all of a sudden something inside of them changes and it's over. And it's called spontaneous sobriety. And oftentimes those people's stories don't get told because they just move on with their life.
Right.
They just start doing something different.
Right.
But it's more common than you think. And it's freaking awesome because it means you didn't have to go through all of the like awful guilt and shame of like flip-flopping and going back on promises to yourself. Like something mystical inside of you set you free, and that's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool. And it's weird because, and I feel like I've seen that pattern within myself sometimes in other aspects of my life where it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's like it's like a mystical movement where you're just like, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't keep doing this, like, seemingly irresponsible thing. I'm fucking moving on, right? And then you just do it. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't want to be that irresponsible person. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's not to, like, take away your accountability or your agency in the process. Like, it sounds like you also did have healthy coping skills that you employed, like your mantra, your ability to reflect on how shitty it was, you're bringing kombucha to the party. Like, you obviously were engaged in your own process. But it's just really cool that it was a one and done type of scenario. So
for sure.
As time went on, how did your social life change? You said you did some therapy? Like, are you peeling back the layers of the onion? Or are you just rolling with things that life hands to you? Like, how do you cope, and what has changed in the past 14 years since you've got out of the psych ward?
Yeah. So many things. I mean, something that's coming up for me right now, I don't know if this will directly answer the question, but I'll try to get to that question if this doesn't. Is like, I think like somebody asked me, they were like, how did you maintain your sobriety this long or whatever? And I was like, oh shit, I have to think about that. Like, how did I do that? And I started thinking about it, and I realized I think one thing that's happened over the 14 years is I've learned to regulate my nervous system on my own. Like, I've gotten to know myself outside of like drugs and alcohol via like, what makes me feel good? What's the next thing that I want to do that feels comforting and like home and like, you know, something that is good for me. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of morphed into this whole journey of like, what makes me feel good and who do I want to be and what do I want to do and like, how do I want to be happy today, or at least fucking try, you know? And
can you give a couple examples of things that you learned, help you feel good when you need to regulate your nervous system, or perhaps like smaller signals you're receiving that let you know it's time to use one of these things that helps you?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing that came up for me is I do like dance a lot in my house. Like, I feel like that's a really good release. I do go to the gym, which helps a lot. Like, honestly, just drinking fucking water. Like, if I don't have my like hydration levels at a certain point, like I need that hydration to feel like at home. I was just speaking with a friend, sharing a mantra that I love to use, which is nutrients are the way home, which is like, food, eating healthy food, as healthy as possible, and making sure that I'm eating 3 times a day. Because that actually is like a huge thing for me. Like, I get very moody and like just destabilized, whatever that is. And I think, like, allowing myself, you said something about, like, social life earlier. Like, how has that changed? Like, I think like over time, like allowing myself to find people in my life like that, like connection with community. You know, like I think I can very much isolate myself. But over the years, I've kind of like found people that I'm like, oh, cool. Like I feel safe with you. Like I like spending time with you. Like I feel comforted and at home by your presence. Like I think that's a really big one, which it takes time. Like there's periods in my life where I really felt like I didn't have friends. And then I like kind of basically started fucking praying for friends. I was like, I gotta fix this. Like I feel like I've been isolating myself for so long. Like I've been through so much. Like I need someone to hug me.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
We need other people. We do. It's part of regulating our nervous systems, is part of healing.
Yeah. So
we're not meant to be alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Just having people that you love. And yeah, I don't know if I answered any of your questions, but I feel like I tried.
No, you definitely did. And it's like, so I totally want to reiterate, this was a huge discovery for me too when I started to like build my sobriety toolkit, was like doing normal ass human things has a immense effect on our mood and our stress levels and our health. Like, hello, sleeping at night. Hello, drinking water. Hello, eating food. Like, I wasn't doing enough of that personally when I was in my addiction. Like, my sleep was garbage. I drank beer, not water. And, like, oh, no time for food. Plus, I'm not even hungry. And, of course, that's going to make your mental state, like, crumble and fall apart. And don't diminish the effects of just like absolute baseline human needs and taking care of that shit. Like,
yes, I tell people that all the time too that are struggling. Like, I'll speak with people that I know and I'm like, look, you need to treat yourself like you're a fucking baby. Take some water, have a nap, and eat some food. Tell me how you feel.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And moving your body in a way that makes you feel good.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah, like dance.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, dance in your kitchen, just go for a walk, do a yoga video, like keep trying different body movements, because like our stress and our emotions get lodged in different places in our body. And it sounds like crazy hippie shit, but it's literally not. And when you move your body, it moves the energy around and it releases that stress, and it gives us those like feel good endorphins and hormones and whatnot. You just have to find the way of moving that feels good for you.
Right. And these things, like when you first start out, like maybe coming out of an addiction, and you first start out like treating yourself like this little baby that just needs a sip of water and a little nap, it's going to feel agitating and it's not going to feel good, right? You're going to be pissed off. But you do have to step your feet forward every single day and do these basic, normal, little human things. And before you know it, you might find something that makes you feel happy or joyful or a little at home within yourself. But you might be pissed at first.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. I'm also curious, I know there's like a lot of folks out there, you're a parent,
Yes.
and there's a lot of folks out there that definitely are like in mommy wine culture, or they think like, oh, parenting is so stressful, so like the only thing we can do to deal with our stress is have a drink. You've been sober the whole time you've been a parent. I'm sure you've encountered stressful times with parenting. How do you cope with being a parent and being sober?
Yeah, good question. I mean, oh, God. Somebody told me once when I was pregnant, they said, parenting is like yoga, where you're trying to get comfortable in a very uncomfortable situation. And it be like that, and it's hard. And the coping skills and how I get through it as a sober person, I mean, in a lot of ways, pure grit and determination. But also it's like you have to take breaks. Like I remember when my son was first coming into the world and young baby, you know, I would like take him to my sisters and just be like, I gotta go for a second, you know, or have my mom come over and help me, or, you know, tell baby daddy, like, I gotta go. Like, I remember advocating for myself and just being like, look, I'm going to pole dancing classes 2 nights a week. Figure it out. You know, so, yeah. I mean, I think there was a time during my parenting journey where I did try to start smoking weed again because I was so stressed. And I was losing it. Didn't go so well. I didn't really enjoy using cannabis again. I remember I was losing it so fucking bad. At one point, I started taking copious amounts of CBD just to be try to calm down a little bit. I mean, I do use herbal medicines. Like, I have valerian root and California poppy in my bag right now, along with kava tincture. So I have started using kava within the last couple of years, which was an interesting journey and has been, because being that I was sober from drugs and alcohol for 14 years, like stepping back into like a place where it's like a bar and like I'm having a drink, and you know, it's like kava that's not psychoactive but it gives you a little head change. You feel a little something from it, you know. It was like, whoa, this is like the first thing that I've allowed myself to fucking have. Like, I've been raw dogging life for fucking 14 years, dude. 14 years! And so finding the plant that is kava, it has been really nice to have something that can kind of calm me down a little bit, because mommy is stressed.
Does it fill the wine-shaped hole in your heart?
In some ways. Sometimes I get pissed because I'm like, this shit tastes disgusting. And like, why am I the only one that can't just have I mean, still to this day, 14 years later, why am I the only one that can't have a glass of red wine, but I have to sit here and drink this kava that tastes like an asshole? I don't get it.
You're not the only one. You know that. You're looking at someone who is another one.
But in my sorrow, I feel so alone. But no, you're right. We're in this together.
Yeah,
and we're not drinking red wine. And, you know, I was talking to my mom this morning on the phone, and we were talking about our sobriety. I said, honey, honestly, one of the things that keeps me sober is I cannot imagine being hungover all the time. That shit blows my mind that people, like, I remember viscerally to this day how that felt, and that people regularly wake up like that. Like, I'm a baby. I can't do it. So I'm staying sober because I don't want a fucking hangover. I can't do it.
Yeah, you can't get anything done feeling like that.
No, I can't. It was horrible. But I hope that answered the question.
It does.
Okay.
Sarah, who would you be if you let go of that thought of why me?
Oh, God. Who would I be? I don't know. I have to think about it.
That's okay.
Like, who would I be if I let go of the thought of why me? Well, I would be me. I would just still be me. Because, I mean, even though I have that thought, it's like, it doesn't consume me per se, right? Like, it's not like a thought. It's not like a constant thought. It's just kind of like, there sometimes. But I'll think about it early. You think it's holding me back?
You seem fine, but I'm just interested.
Yeah, I should look at that. Thank you for asking me that, because I've never thought of that.
I forget where I was telling someone about this teaching the other day. I think it comes from Buddhism, but I'm totally not positive. Instead, it's like a mind trick. I don't know, you might like it. Instead of thinking in life at all, like, why me about anything, life consists of difficult shit, uncomfortable situations, tragedy, fucking scary things. Like, bad stuff happens all the time to all sorts of people. So instead of thinking, why me, you could think, why not me?
I love that.
Like, why would I be excluded from the suffering of humanity? Why would I be the only person who doesn't have to experience a challenge? Why not me?
Yeah. That is going to take a moment or several days for me to integrate. But what was coming up for me as you were saying that was about alcohol, right? Because I'm saying like, oh, wow. Well, I'm the only person that can't have a glass of red wine, right? Like, and it's like, is that a blessing? Why not me? Because I don't have to be hungover the next day, you know? But there is that. Do you ever experience that feeling of like you see maybe a friend having a nice glass of red wine and you're like, delicious.
I used to. When I worked at the depot, I would see people laughing and having mimosas. And I'd be like, are you having a nice fucking brunch, bitches?
Right?
Like,
and all the cocktails. Like, well, I want to try a cocktail. But I won't.
But what we don't see is those people leaving that place and like vomiting and getting in a fight. And you know what I mean?
Right.
And like, then at some point, I don't remember how I healed that part of me. It definitely used to have that like thought, waiting tables. Now when I wait tables and I'm serving people alcohol, I either like don't think about it at all, or I kind of feel sorry for them. Like, you're doubling the cost of your dinner to drink a carcinogen. I'm like, not like I'm better. I'm not better than anyone, but like, I sort of just feel like a little bit sorry for them now. Right.
I think about, like, I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet. I mean, obviously sobriety is becoming more common. It's almost like it's trending in some ways. Like, not really, but like more people are doing it, right?
Yeah.
The earth is saying, okay, this makes sense, right? And I see people talking about, there's like internet videos that are just like, you know, you go out every weekend and you just consume, like, you're just willingly consuming poison. And then you're throwing up and you're sick and everything like that. And I think about that a lot. I think that is like, say, waiting tables or seeing your friends or whatever. It's like, unfortunately, when I look at my friends and I look at people in the world sitting and having wine and cocktails and stuff, I think to myself, well, yum. But then I think, but the worst part is you're gonna feel like shit after that. Like, I don't think that you can, look at me, it's been so long since I've had a drink. I don't think you can have alcohol and not feel bad after, right? Like, it basically always kind of feels bad. Like, you're always kind of low-key or high-key hungover, right?
Yes. Yes.
I haven't had a drink in so long, I forgot. But no, so, like, I look at people and I'm just like, God, you know, yes, that's fun right now, but it's going to suck later.
And is it worth it?
And that's like a drug in a way. It's like drugs, you know? So, I don't know. That keeps me fucking sober.
Not wanting to feel like shit.
And why not me?
Why not me? Why would I be exempt from suffering?
Yeah.
Why would I be exempt from the difficulties of humanity?
Yeah. Not why me? Why not me?
Sarah, I'm also curious. Do you think that there's things what do you think people who've never had an addiction don't understand about how it feels?
Like how it feels to be addicted to something?
Yeah, what do you think people don't understand about addiction?
I think when you're in the throes of an addiction, like speaking from like, obviously I just told you all my story and you can see how that went. Like speaking from my personal experience, I think what I didn't understand and probably what people don't understand is how bad it's making you feel and how much it's affecting your life. Because when you're immersed within a substance abuse situation, you can't see outside of that, right? Like, you're just doing it. You're sorting the lines. You're smoking the fucking meth. You're drinking the whiskey. And that's just your normal. And that's just who you are. And that's just what you're doing. And, like, no one can really tell you, like, shit about it. It's just your life. And you just live that way. And that's what they say, is most people have to have some kind of rock bottom, right? In order to be woken up. So I guess I would say I think most people don't understand how bad it's making you feel and how much it's affecting your life, because you can't see. It's like a blind spot. You can't see the reality of the situation because you're just immersed in a different, basically altered state of mind.
And if someone's stuck in that place in their life right now, what would you tell them?
I would encourage them to just try something different.
I'm trying something different.
Trying something different. Maybe just take a baby step and see, so cliche, but obviously in like the world of addiction, we talk about how for this hour, I'm not going to have a beer or take a shot or hit the meth pipe. And so maybe just try a little baby step. If you want to try something different, if you feel like you're feeling like shit, if you're not happy with where you are, you could try a little something baby step different.
All right. Well, we're getting near the end of our time. Is there anything else that was just burning a hole in your brain that you wanted to tell the people, or any last words of advice?
No, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. All right, one more time with the mantra. I'm trying something different.
I'm trying something different.
Thanks, Sara.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Recovery Demystified. If you like what you heard, share it with a friend or rate and review us so we can reach a larger audience. Recovery Demystified is produced and edited by me, Early Brunner. Stevie Petet made our logo. Our beautiful theme music is by Logan Bragg, and our social media manager is Kaylee Bausch. We are entirely supported by your generous donations as a 501c3 nonprofit. You can find a link to donate in the description. May you be happy and free, dear listener.